So I want to talk about this Q&A that Alexis and Julius did. They've been telling people for the longest, if we get 2,500 subscribers on YouTube, then we're going to drop a Q&A. So they dropped like an hour-long Q&A. I'm not going to cover every single question. I'm just going to cover the ones I think are worth talking about. First, starting off with someone asking them about them breaking up. Like, they were like, when did you guys get back together? And Alexis was like, when did we break up? But it's like, wasn't it just like a month or two ago that you went live on TikTok while you were claiming you were throwing the man out? Just kind of like I speculated in that video. I had a feeling like he walked out the door and he'd even take his belongings when she was recording him. So I was like, he probably just went downstairs, sat down there for 5-10 minutes, and then just probably came right back up and they made up. And some people are even starting to think that it may have been a skit now. I don't know. You guys have to let me know what you think. Was that real, or what exactly was going on? Like, if that was real, I think a good question for this Q&A that I haven't heard anyone ask is, what was the situation with this girl that Julius was talking to? Like, what was he saying? What was this girl saying? What was the whole situation? That's what I want to know that set her off that night. And then they were asked if they were wanting to have a baby boy since they have a girl. And Alexis said that she does want another baby. Julius says he wants another baby too, but he only wants 2 babies total, so he only wants one more. And Alexis said that she wants another baby. She wants to try to have a little boy. But right now, she said she wants to focus on other things. Like, she wants to do some traveling. She wants to get engaged. She wants to get married. And she said she is manifesting that she's going to get married in 2027. I don't know if it's going to be that quick unless they have a quick engagement, because they still got to get engaged. I don't know. I'm going to say maybe if they do get married, they'll get married by 2028, 2029. I don't know, but we'll see if they last that long. I don't know. And the crazy thing is, Alexa said she would be willing to have as many as 4 or 5 kids. That's where she maxes out. I don't think Julius is going to be able to handle 4 or 5 kids. I can see he's probably going to be hanging on for dear life with 2 kids if they have 2 kids. And they said that they would be willing to come back to TV. And they're like, and then they're asked, why didn't you come back for Life After Lockup? And she's like, because we didn't want to, because we didn't ask for it. Which I'm like, okay. It's because they didn't ask you for it. That's the real tea. They said they would be willing to come back on the show. They have 0 regrets when it comes to the show. And she said she is leaving her options open. She said she'd be willing to go on a different type of reality TV show, like a Netflix show, you know, like how they had like The Mole and all those different challenge games. And she said that Julius has been wanting to be on a show, like a 20 versus 1, you know, like when they have one, like a rapper versus 20 women, which I've never been a fan of those because they're just so fake, especially when they blatantly put someone on one of those that has a girlfriend or who's married. I'm like, okay, now you're just playing in my face. Like, I know it's just supposed to be for entertainment purposes, but I at least want to believe that the people who meet are going to go on a date or have some kind of connection. Alexis said that she is going back to school here in July to try to get her nursing degree. And she said that she's the one that applied to be on the show. They called her back with a quickness, and she was shocked. And she's like, okay, it looks like we're doing the damn thing. And then she was asked, what is something that her and Julius love about each other that people really wouldn't know? And she said she feels like Julius, oh my God, sorry if you guys hear a beeping in the background. I live in an apartment. Freaking one of the smoke detectors in the hallway is dying, and I know it's probably getting picked up in the background of the video, and it's driving me crazy. I know I talk crap on people for having their smoke detectors going off in the background all the time, like especially like Blueface and Krishan. But yeah, it's not my smoke detector. This is out of my control. And so anyways, she said she feels like he's very selfless, he's very caring. I feel like that's something that we didn't get to see a lot with him on the show. Alexis cleared up that Julius was not playing his little video game in the hospital while she was giving birth because he made that TikTok. She's like, I don't even know why people are trying to paint him like he was playing this game like I was giving birth. Well, because Julius posted that when he said it's like made a TikTok saying something like when it's time to have the baby, but 2K is lit or something like that. The reason people thought that is because what his trolling ass said. And then she said that she feels like them having a baby actually brought them closer together. Then you know what was funny? She's going on about like, I just, as soon as she started talking about how he wasn't on the video game while she gave birth, this man, like 20 minutes into the Q&A, he starts playing his video game for the rest of the Q&A. Even she started making him like some questions because she's like, dude, we're doing a Q&A. What are you doing? Someone asked Julius what his thoughts were on marriage and if he ever planned on getting married. He said there's nothing wrong with it. He wants to get married one day, but he says he just wants to wait until the time is right. But he says he wants to get married, and he said everything I told Alexis I'm going to do, I'm going to do. And she was sitting there agreeing with him. And I guess he ended up giving her a promise ring for her birthday. So, I mean, they're halfway there, I guess. She said she's the one that came up with the baby's name, Juliana, to name the baby after Julius. She said that they thought they were going to have a boy. She was like set in stone that she's going to have a boy. So she had all boy names picked out, and Juliana was the one girl name she picked out. So she ended up going with that. And she said when she had the baby, the whole labor and delivery experience was smooth. A whole bunch of other questions, but they weren't really like anything juicy. I was hoping that we were going to get more out of this Q&A than we did, but they gave us what they could. And I do want to talk about Lizzie. So Lizzie is the one that dated Scott on season 2. And I have been thinking about like covering the older seasons. If that's something you guys want to see, let me know what season you want to see me start at. I was like, should I start at season 1 just from the beginning? Because I start covering Love After Lockup like mid season 3. So I'd love to go back and like cover the seasons that I haven't covered before. Lizzie ended up she posted this video and she said, God is the only reason why I'm here. I was a heroin user prostitute. I sold my body and used everyone. But God turned me around. I'm now a Sunday school teacher. I graduated with my bachelor's degree in 1 week, and I wrote a book. God can change your life. Just let him. Copy and paste links to get the book, or I have a link in my highlights. So she has them on Amazon. They're on Barnes & Noble. Here's a better look at her books. It's called A Proverbs a Day Keeps the Devil Away. And she says, in case you haven't heard, I wrote a book. This is all because of God. You can get a copy of the book on these links, copy and paste. And honestly, I think this makes a lot of sense for her because I remember like in her earlier days of Love After Lockup, what are those books called? They have those books like, I can't think of the name. Like where they're like daily devotionals. And she used to always post like the daily devotionals on her page every single day. So this is pretty on brand with her. This is the kind of book I would expect from Lizzie. And there are times where Lizzie would always say, I'm doing so good. I'm sober. And I would always side-eye her because then like a week later she'd be arrested for some kind of drunk, disorderly conduct. But I do have to say she does look great. She looks like she's doing pretty good in life, and I love that for her. She still has her little ministry going on called Elizabeth's Angels, where you can become an angel investor, giving back through a life-changing experience by saving children. Elizabeth had a vision from God. God said to her, this will be your 5-year plan. You will save children from sex trafficking, being taken advantage by adults, children. I can't say the word, that you guys can see the word here. And adult content. You will help them overcome the obstacles that you have been through. But that is what Lizzie has been up to. But let me know what you guys think about everything in the comments below. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.